Good morning, Room 7 students. Good morning, Room 7 families. I hope you had a great day yesterday. I hope you enjoyed doing some experiments. I would love to hear or see about what you did. And I hope that you had fun. Let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. Good morning, how are you? How are you? Very well, thank you, very well, thank you. And you, and you. Let's do Russian. Доброе утро, как дела, как дела? Очень хорошо, спасибо, очень хорошо, спасибо. А у вас, а у вас. How about we try Italian? I still have my cheat sheet because I'm still trying to memorize it. But let's try Italian, which we learned last week. Ready? Buongiorno, buongiorno. Come stai? Come stai? Molto bien, grazie. Molto bien, grazie. E2. E2. It's fun learning new things. I like learning Italian. Let's go ahead and see what day it is. Oh, we've got to switch it over. I didn't have time to do it before, but yesterday was Wednesday, so that makes today Thursday, Thursday, and the name of our month is, that's right, May, May, and yesterday was May 13th. What number comes after 13th? Do you know? Let's count and find out. Today we're just going to do a simple A-B pattern. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's right. So today is Thursday, May 14th, 2020. And the weather outside this morning in Los Angeles is sunny. We've got a sunny day, so I'm going to color in a sunny bar on our weather graph. There we go. We've charted our weather for today. So, remember this week we're talking about farm animals, and we have talked about barns and cows, and on Seesaw we learned about pigs. Well, today we're going to be reading this book called Farmer Brown Shears His Sheep, and it's a yarn about wool. So we're going to learn where wool comes from and what we do with wool. So let's go ahead, students, and start reading. Farmer Brown Shears His Sheep by Terry Sloat and illustrated by Nadine Bernard Westcott. That must be Farmer Brown. And this book is dedicated, it says, for my husband Bob, who can spin a good yarn. So when you write a book, remember you get to dedicate it to someone. Okay, here we go. Farmer Brown was shearing a sheep, piling up a snowy heap of wool that filled his shed knee-deep. Clip, clip, buzz, buzz. He took their wool and let them buzz. So this is what they look like before they got sheared, and this is what they look like after they got sheared. And there's all the wool. He filled his bags one by one with fleece, but when his work was done, clouds had covered up the sun. The sheep saw all their wool in sacks. Bah, they cried, we want it back. Why do you think they might want their wool back? If the sun is going behind the clouds, maybe they are cold, right? Is that what you were thinking? Soon the farmer's sheep were shivering. They followed him. He was delivering all their wool to Mr. Green. I wonder what Mr. Green's going to do with their wool. Who washed it out and combed it clean. Comb, pull. He cleaned and carded all their wool. Their fleece made such a fluffy stack. Bah, they cried, we want it back. Poor little sheep are shivering. They're so cold. The sheep went running, cold and shaking, behind the farmer, who was taking all their wool to Mr. Peel. I wonder what Mr. Peel's going to do with all that wool. Who owned the finest spinning wheel. Twist, hum, what had their fluffy fleece become? What happens when you put wool in a spinning wheel? Do you know what we call that? Do you? Let's see. From fleece to yarn, it stretched and changed. Bah, they cried, our wool looks strange. So now it's yarn. Chilly sheep with goosebumps crying rode right behind the farmer, flying down the road to Mrs. Muller. What is Mrs. Muller going to do with all that yarn? What do you think? Who changed the yarn from white to color? Dip, dye, drip, dry. The yarn grew bright before their eyes, and while it dried upon the rock, one sheep cried, bah! Let's take it back. Look, now it's all beautiful colors like the yarn we use in our classroom. What's this? The farmer asked his sheep. You're tangled up from head to feet. You're shivering cold and turning blue. So back to Farmer Brown's they flew. He found his favorite place to sit, then Farmer Brown began to knit. Knit, purl, the farmer's fingers looped and twirled, crowded on the porch together, trembling in the nippy weather. They watched him knit, and when he quit, he put a sweater on to fit each sheep, and then he buttoned it. Look, Farmer Brown's so talented, he knit sweaters for the sheep, and look how colorful they look. The sheep grew nice and warm again in brightly colored cardigans, in patterns made of red and green and all the colors in between. Now each year, come shearing time, the sheep wait eagerly in line to feel the clip and hear the buzz, and wear bright sweaters over fuzz. The end. So a lot of yarn is made from wool, and the wool comes from the sheep. Isn't that interesting? So whenever we read a book in room 7, we add it to our calendar. Let's add it right here underneath the word May. Farmer Brown shears his sheep. Tomorrow we're halfway done with May, and that's about perfect because we still have all this space for books to read. Look at all those books we've read so far, though. Let's do a really quick check-in with our last chrysalis. There it is. Nothing has happened. So now we're just waiting. Someone asked me the other day, what are the red spots? And that is from the watermelon that the butterflies, remember we let the 4 butterflies go yesterday, but before that I had fed them watermelon. So no, that's not blood. Someone wanted to make sure it wasn't blood. It's just watermelon juice. But there's our last chrysalis. Maybe he'll come out tonight or later today. We'll see. Okay, students, now it's time to log on to Seesaw and get started with today's activities. There's a really cool video about sheep on there and some other fun things for you to go ahead and try. So, continuing with our ABC countdown, yesterday we did E for experiments. So what letter comes after E? Can you remember? Let's see. A, B, C, D, E, F. So today is our favorites day. So your job today is to make a list of all your favorite things and try to do some of them. But first you have to make the list. So I wanted to share my list with you of some of my favorite things that I'm going to try to do today. So I wrote them down so that I wouldn't forget. First of all, I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts. It says, "My favorite people call me Mrs. Glucksman." This was a gift from my class last year, And I love this shirt because it reminds me of the students who gave it to me. It's my favorite color because it's red, and it talks about my favorite people, my students. Also, I'm wearing my super comfy favorite pants. I love them, they're comfortable, they're my favorite because they make me feel good. So I'm wearing my favorite shirt, my favorite pants. Today I'm gonna eat my favorite lunch, pizza. And I'm gonna drink my favorite drink, which is iced tea. And I'm gonna do some of my favorite things today. So I'm gonna take my dog for a walk. That's one of my favorite things to do. And also, this ties to the book we were reading and I wanted to share it with you. One of my favorite things to do is knit. And I wanted to show you, last month, it was Ella's birthday, and I knit, just like Farmer Brown, I knit this blanket for her. So I really enjoy knitting. It's one of my favorite things to do. So maybe if I have time later, I might start a new knitting project. Also, I'm gonna try to call my favorite friend because it's really important to make sure your friends, check in with your friends and make sure they're doing okay. So I'm gonna call some of my favorite friends. And tonight, I'm gonna eat my favorite dessert. I love cake and I have a piece of cake waiting for me left over from Mother's Day. One last piece in the fridge. And if I have time at the end of the day, I'm gonna try to watch my favorite TV show. So I'd love to hear about your favorite things. I'd love to see a list of all your favorite things on our Favorite Things Day. And I hope you get to do a lot of your favorite things today. Have a great Thursday, Room 7, and I'll see you tomorrow on Friday. Take care. Bye.